Hello everyone. Thank you for taking the time to join us today for this webinar on Microsoft Purview, the future of data governance, security and compliance. My name is Pratik Nilkund. I am a data governance practice head at Royal Cyber, and I've been with this company for about 4.5 years now. And over the course of these years, we have helped organizations comply with different data privacy regulations, as well as implement different data governance strategies and frameworks. Right, today we are going to explore how Microsoft Purview can transform your approach to managing data. Right, so let's take a look at our agenda for today. We'll start with an overview of Microsoft Purview to understand what makes it such a powerful tool for data governance. Then we'll explore how Purview enhances data visibility and governance, followed by some strategies for implementing data loss prevention. Next, we will discuss how to effectively manage data risks using Purview's advanced capabilities. We will also include a demo to give you a high level overview of Purview, how it works in action. And just before that, we'll also talk about how Royal Cyber can assist you in integrating Purview into your account. And finally, we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask us anything related to data governance and Purview. Even during the webinar, if you have certain questions that come to mind, feel free to paste those questions in the chat window and we can take them up during the question and answer round. Right, so okay, let's get started. Before we delve into Microsoft Purview, let me introduce Royal Cyber. We are a global IT consulting and digital transformation company with over 20 plus years of experience. Our team of more than 2,000 professionals, including over 500 certified consultants, operate across 10 offices worldwide. This global presence allows us to offer localized support and tailor our solutions to meet specific industry and regional requirements. Our mission is to empower businesses with cutting edge technology solutions, and Microsoft Purview is certainly a key part of our toolkit for helping organizations manage their data more effectively. Right, so getting along with the topic, what is Microsoft Purview? Right? It's a comprehensive data governance solution designed to help you manage, protect and derive value from your data across your entire organization. It focuses on three main areas. The first one is data security, where it helps protect your sensitive data wherever it resides, whether it's in the cloud or it's on-prem or across devices. The second focus area is, of course, data governance, where it provides tools to understand, organize and manage your data assets in a unified manner. This helps sort of make it really easy to govern your data effectively, to have everything in a unified manner. Right. The third focus area, Purview helps with identifying data risks and manage regulatory compliance requirements, providing a peace of mind that your data practices are secure and compliant. Right. So what makes Purview really stand out is that it's designed for all key stakeholders, the security teams, the data analysts, compliance officers, and even legal teams. Right? So it's a holistic solution that brings everyone onto the same page when it comes to data management, right? So you don't have to go to different tools to kind of manage, all of it. You have everything in one place, and everyone's collaborating, right? So it's sort of a, everyone onto the same page kind of an approach, which really helps. So in general, at a high level, Microsoft Purview helps understand and govern data, safeguard data wherever it lives, and improve the risk and compliance posture, right? So now let's talk about one of the most important aspects of data governance, which is data visibility. Now, without a clear view of what data you have and where it resides, managing and securing that data becomes a daunting task, right? So Microsoft Purview addresses this challenge head on. It allows you to create a comprehensive map of all your data assets, offering a centralized view that makes it easier to manage, secure, and use data across your organization. Now, this kind of visibility is crucial not just for governance but also for unlocking the full potential of your data by making it accessible and useful to all those who need it. Right? So let's break down how Purview enhances data visibility. The first step is to create a unified map of your data. This is where you connect to different data sources and pull in the metadata, right? Purview automatically discovers this data across your environment, whether it's on-prem, in the cloud, or spread across various databases and applications. It then goes on to classify this data into categories and provides a visual representation of data lineage. This means you can see how data moves and transforms over time, and having this unified map is essential because it sort of gives you a holistic view of your data landscape, right? Helping you identify where sensitive data resides and how it's being used. Once your data is mapped, the next step is to make it easily discoverable, right? So Purview has really good intelligent data search and rich metadata management experience, right, which sort of helps the team quickly find the data they need, and most importantly, it's not just the finding but understanding the context behind it, right? So by making data easily accessible and also understandable with the help of context, you sort of empower your teams to make informed decisions. It really helps to turn that raw data into a valuable asset and therefore drive business outcomes. Now, visibility is only one part of the equation. The next step is to establish control over your data, right? So Purview allows you to create and enforce policies that govern how data can be accessed, moved, and shared within your organization, right? You can set specific rules that define who can access certain types of data and under what conditions, right? For example, you can create policies that restrict sensitive data from being shared externally, or to ensure that certain types are only accessible by specific departments. This not only helps you comply with data regulations but also ensures that data is used responsibly across your organization. One of the challenges organizations face is the rapid growth of data, right? Especially with especially managing the real-time data, right? With Purview, you can limit this growth by detecting and eliminating duplicate data. This is crucial for maintaining data quality and for optimizing storage related costs, right? By reducing redundancy. You ensure that your data remains clean, accurate, and easier to manage. This also helps streamline data analysis, as you're working with more refined data set, allowing for more precise and reliable insights. So moving on to the next part, which is implementing data loss prevention strategies, right? So DLP, or data loss prevention, is all about protecting your sensitive information from unauthorized access or leaks, right? So Microsoft Purview provides advanced DLP capabilities that allow you to identify and manage sensitive data effectively. It goes beyond just identifying data. It also allows you to implement policies that automatically protect data, right? So it helps with that data protection, whether it's in transit, at rest, or in use, right? For example, just to you can set up rules that block users from sharing sensitive information outside the organization, or you can help automatically encrypt data based on its classification, right? So it helps with that data protection. So step number one is the first step here is to locate, right? Purview helps you do this. We discussed this before. You have comprehensive data discovery tools. It helps scan the environment to find that sensitive data, such as PII or financial data or intellectual property. And once it's identified, right, it uses advanced classification techniques to label this data according to its sensitivity, right? So you can have like public sensitivity, general, confidential, right, different labels, and all of this can be customized as per required, as per your organization, right? With this level of visibility, you can take sort of targeted actions to secure and control access to this information, ensuring that the data, which is very important to you, very important to the organization, is handled properly at all times, right? So after identifying sensitive data, the next step is to deploy policies to prevent data leakage. Purview also allows you to create customized DLP policies that control how data is used and shared. For instance, you can set up policies to block unauthorized access to sensitive data, or to alert you if someone tries to send confidential information that is very critical to the organization outside the organization, right? So Purview also offers real-time monitoring, so you can catch potential issues immediately and take corrective action before it's very late, right? So this automated policy enforcement helps reduce the risk of data breaches and ensures compliance with data privacy regulations. So managing data across a large organization, it can be a very complex task, but Purview makes it simpler by automating data classification and governance. As new data enters your environment, Purview automatically classifies it based on your predefined rules and policies. This means you can maintain consistent data governance practices across your entire organization without the need for manual intervention, right? So this automation not only saves time, but also ensures that your data governance framework is now scalable and adaptable to the ever changing data landscape. Now let's talk about managing data risks, right? So data risks can come from various sources, including insider threats, maybe non-compliant practices, and even legal issues, right? So Microsoft Purview, it leverages advanced tools like machine learning to detect potential risks, monitor communications for compliance, and also provide detailed reporting for audits and investigations, right? So this proactive approach allows you to identify and mitigate risks before they become serious issues, therefore helping protect your organization's data as well as reputation, right? So the step one is in managing data risks, right, is again one of the biggest challenges that we face, any organization face, is identifying potential insider threats, right? So Purview, it uses advanced ML algorithms to monitor user behavior and detect anomalies that could indicate a risk. For example, if an employee suddenly, it's very odd when an employee suddenly accesses a large volume of sensitive data that they don't usually interact with, right? So Purview can now flag this as a potential insider threat, right? This proactive approach enables you to take action before any damage is done, and it helps protect your organization's sensitive information from misuse or data breaches. Next, Purview helps you detect potential violations in communications. It monitors emails, messages, and other communication channels for content that might breach regulatory compliance or company policies, right? For example, again, if someone tries to share sensitive customer information via email, Purview can now automatically detect this and take predefined actions such as alerting administrators or blocking the communication, right? So this constant monitoring helps you ensure that your business conduct aligns with compliance requirements and internal guidelines, therefore reducing the risk of regulatory violations. Storing and retaining core business records securely is crucial for compliance and operational continuity. Microsoft Purview helps you establish retention policies that ensure important records are stored securely and for the right duration, right? So it automates the process of managing records, whether they are financial documents, customer data, or legal records, right? With Purview, you can set access controls to ensure that only authorized personnel can view or edit these records, and you can maintain an audit trail to track any changes, right? This not only aids in compliance but also ensures that vital business information is preserved and easily accessed when needed. When it comes to forensic investigations, having a clear and detailed record of data access and usage is invaluable, right? So Purview provides comprehensive audit capabilities, allowing you to track user activity, data access patterns, and policy violations, right? So with audit ready reporting, you can quickly generate detailed logs and insights which are crucial during internal audits, legal investigations, or during regulatory reviews, right? So this helps you build a robust case when investigating incidents and demonstrates your commitment to data governance and compliance. Essentially, Purview makes the whole investigation process more efficient as well as transparent. Now, legal risks, as we know it, can arise from various sources, including improper handling of sensitive data or failure to comply with legal requirements, right? So, Microsoft Purview provides advanced tools or e-discovery tools that allow you to identify, preserve, and retrieve relevant data during legal inquiries. It helps you conduct thorough legal risk assessments by searching through vast amounts of data to find exactly what's needed, right? Whether it's for litigation, for internal investigations, or compliance checks, right? So Purview streamlines this the whole process, making it easier for your legal team to collaborate and ensure that all necessary data is preserved and accessible in a very secure manner, right? So, lastly, a very important part where it's important to note that compliance is not a one-time task; it's an ongoing process. It's not a sprint; it's a marathon, right? So Purview helps you continuously assess and track your compliance effectiveness. It provides an automated compliance scorecard that gives a real-time view of your organization's compliance posture. You tend to receive actionable insights that guide you on what steps to take next to enhance your compliance, right? So by regularly assessing your compliance status and adjusting your strategies based on different requirements, you can ensure that your organization remains aligned with data privacy and security standards, therefore minimizing risks and building trusts with stakeholder, right? All right, so now that we have covered the theory part of it, let's move on to the demo section, right? So I'm going to log into Microsoft. Okay, so here we are under Microsoft Purview portal, right? So if I were to click on the solutions, I can see um, all the solutions within um, the Microsoft Purview portal, right? So just to give you some details about uh, each of these solutions, right? So AI Hub, it helps make it easier to manage and use AI across the organization. Audits sort of helps with tracking and logging data activities. So it makes it easier to manage and ensure compliance, spotting any potential issues. Communication compliance, we discussed it before. It helps with monitoring emails and chats for policy compliance and helps to catch and correct any inappropriate or rule breaking communications. Um, Compliance Manager provides tools to manage and track compliance with regulations. It guides you through the different compliance tasks and shows how well you're meeting with requirements. Uh, Data catalog, uh, I'll be demoing this, but at a high level, it helps to organize and manage information about your data, therefore making it more usable. Data lifecycle management helps with uh, managing data right from creation to deletion, helps uh, data when it's stored as well as deleted, and does all of it according to rules. Data loss prevention prevents sensitive data from being shared inappropriately, um, protects your confidential information, and helps avoid any data breaches. E-discovery sort of makes it easier to gather necessary information from different places for investigations or for legal cases. Um, Information barriers, it restricts data sharing between different teams and prevents conflicts of interest by uh, stopping sensitive information from being shared where it shouldn't. Protection, the information protection part of it kind of helps keep sensitive information safe, right? Helps with that information protection and ensures only authorized people can access it. Risks management monitors employee actions to spot potential risks, right? And records management, it ensures records are kept and disposed of properly, helping with compliance and organization, right? It manages records through its entire life cycle, right? So each of these different solutions are a webinar topic on itself, right? Over the course of next 1 year, we will go through each of these solutions in detail, right? And we will have demos um, to cover each of these different solutions to get a working understanding of how all of it works, as well as some best practices around it, right? But for at a high level overview, I'd like to go into the data catalog uh, piece. I've discovered data from different sources. So if I were to go on to data assets and do a select star, right, show me everything that you have here, I can see that there are around 39 plus results. Now, these are called assets, right? Order processing, marketing, right? And then these are called the asset types, right? So order processing is an asset of business process asset type, and business process asset type is a child of the business asset type, right? So business contains, the business process is something that's more business in nature, right? And order processing is the asset. Similarly, um, marketing is an asset that is of a data domain asset type, and data domain asset type is a data asset, right? So, so this is how they are linked. So data domain contains marketing as an asset, right? So this is how we can look at it. So um, there is a possibility to filter it by asset type or the source that it originates from, right? So here, as we see, the different sources from which we have discovered these assets, are from, say, Azure Blob Storage, Data Lake Storage, Azure Files, or Azure Table Storage. So these are the source types that they originate from, right? So if I were to click on order processing, I can, we discussed earlier during the webinar that this particular when you can search for different assets and at the same time understand it better by the context or the metadata or the attribution it has, right? So for example, order processing is an asset which has been described here, so we can understand the description for it. There are no terms currently added for this particular order processing, but if we were to enrich it further, right? What's an order, right? So we can have glossary terms that talk to or link to this particular business process. Right? We can see that the status is candidate. That means it's um, this is its endorsement, right? So it's currently in the candidate status, but the objective is to go from candidate to accepted. If this business process was no longer used in future, then it can go to a deprecated status, right? So if I were to go to contacts, I can see that no experts are present for this particular business process, no owners, right? But it has one steward, right? So if I want to just add um, uh, uh, myself instead of stewards as an owner for this business process, all I have to do is edit it, go here, delete it, and then add Pratik Nilkund here. right? So I can see myself under the owners section, and then if I want to enrich it, right, I can enrich it by adding more relations or changing the description and providing status, and I'm just going to go and give it an accepted status. So if I save it, now I can see that uh, right, order processing has a status of accepted, and if I go to contacts, it's Pratik is the owner now, right? So going back to the search result, right, now this is with respect to order processing, which is a business process. It has overview and contacts. But if I were to look at, say, a storage account, right, Azure storage account, like connections migration, right, I can see overview, properties, as well as contacts here, right? So under the properties section, we have the name, the qualified name, the resource group, the subscription ID, and the location for it. Similarly, if I go to contacts, I can see that there are no experts or owners here. Yeah, I can share the data, right? So all of this is possible within the data catalog portion. I can see the hierarchy for it. So if it was a column, then the hierarchy would have been something like a server contains database contains schema contains table contains column. So all that hierarchy would have been established here. But here I can see, so based on the type of the asset, your the metadata and the context for it can be customized, right? So going back to the search results, um, so there are about 39 search results here. Like most of it I see are the Azure storage accounts, and then there is a marketing data domain also. If I were to click on a marketing data domain, I can see again there's an owner assigned, but it does not have a description or anything, right? So this is the data catalog, right? It has an overview section, discovery, a catalog management portion, and a health management portion as well, right? So again, when we cover data catalog in more detail, we'll go through this particular uh, solution in more detail, right? Let's head over to solutions and let's look at data loss prevention, right? I'm going to the policies section here. Here you can see all the policies that are present. Many of them are uh, out of the box. It comes with the licensing itself, but there is a way to create a new policy, right? So you can create a new data loss prevention policy to help identify and protect your organization's sensitive information. Um, so here's an example of a custom policy. I'm just going to edit this policy now. And so it goes through, either you're creating or you're editing a policy, it needs to go through the same workflow where you start with name, admin units, location, advanced DLP rules, policy mode, and finish. Right? I'm not going to make any modifications here, but just at a high level, right? You add the name of the policy, the description of the policy. Um, uh, Go to the next page. Right. So you have to choose the admin units you would like to assign this policy to, and these units are created in Microsoft Entra ID and restrict the policy to a specific set of users or groups. Right. So if I want to add or remove admin units, I can just click this, right, and I can search for it. If I want to currently, if you see that it's applied to full directory, right? So I'm going to go to the next section now, and I can see the locations where I can apply this policy to, right? So currently exchange all groups, right? This is the scope. This is the location where I can apply the policy to. If I want, let's say I want to narrow the scope or broaden the scope, there is an opportunity to do so. I can go to specific groups and include the relevant groups here. I can go to all groups, all right, and then I have broadened it to the most scope that it can take, and then I click on done here. I currently only 3 options are selected, as you can see: Exchange email, SharePoint sites, and OneDrive accounts, right? So I'm just going to click on next now. Okay, we have applied the locations, but now I'm going to see that I can create rules, right? What are the conditions and actions that define the data protection requirements for this policy? Here I can see that the rule is that so high volume of sensitive information shared externally, as well as low volume of sensitive information exchanged externally. I'm going to click on and edit here, and I can see that, all right, it applies to detects when content is sent in email message, Teams chat, or channel message, or shared in a SharePoint or OneDrive document, but it applies with people outside the organization, and these are the sensitive information types that it talks to, right? The debit number, US bank account number, US driving license, and all of that. I can have notifications to inform users and help educate them on how to properly use sensitive information. So all of this is possible here to notify the user who sent, shared, or last modified the content, right? So right, so basically some housekeeping around it. But the most important part here is also the sensitive information type. If I want to edit it, right, I want to add more sensitive information types, I can add more sensitive information types as well. Okay, I'm going to cancel it for now. Okay, so all this is possible. I'm just going to, I can add more conditions if I like. I want to have this rule, I want to make this rule a little bit more complex and use a combination of, either an AND gate or a gate, and, make it a little complex. I can do that. I can edit the rule, but I'm not changing anything. I'm just going to go to the save option here and go to next. There's an option to test the policy in a simulation mode. There is an option to turn the policy on immediately and or leave the policy turned off, right? For the sake of this demo, I'm just going to turn the policy on immediately, right? And not changing anything here, not modifying anything here. Going to next, quickly reviewing the policy, right? We went to the whole workflow. So here I can see the name, the description, the location that applies to the policy settings, or the rules or the conditions that are set for this policy. Let me seen here, and if you want to edit any of the points, we can do that and turn the policy on after it's created. I can select it, yes, and now I'm going to submit it, right? I can see now that the policy has been updated, right? So, and data loss prevention policy has been updated, and the next step is to monitor alerts to review if the policy matches, right? So alert management is something. If there is a violation or anything, then we can track it there. For now, I'm just going to select done, and that brings us again to this to the policy section here, and I can see that the status is on. It was last modified on September 16th. Because now during the demo I did not make any changes, so it does not It did not reflect today's date, but the date when it was last modified, right? So similarly, there are other policies that have its own locations, conditions, rules, right? And we can customize it or make it as broad as possible. Okay. So, all right. So this marks the end of the demo for the second solution, data loss prevention. Again, um, if you are interested, there is a survey question also you must have seen that talks to um, which solutions interest you the most, and if you were to kind of let us know the solutions that interest you the most, we can always set up uh, a demo to discuss this in detail. And uh, if you're interested in any of the offerings we have with respect to workshops, assessments, I'll talk to that. But if you have anything with respect to the offerings you would like, let us know and we can set up next steps in accordance. Okay, so we have certain offerings. We are good partners. We are gold partners with Microsoft Purview, and as a result, we do get certain offerings to provide, right? So we can provide workshops to help your organization make the most of Microsoft Purview. Our workshops cover topics like data discovery, data governance, compliance. They are designed to give you hands-on experience with Purview's features and teach you how to use them to improve your organization's data management and compliance posture. We can also do assessments to review current risks and compliance issues. We can also evaluate data privacy, security, and compliance posture against regulations. So workshops, assessments. We also have proof of concept. So what we do here is we implement Purview in a small environment or for a very specific use case, and this allows you to see how Purview can fit into your existing setup and address your unique needs. The POC services provide a practical demonstration of Purview's capabilities. It helps to make informed decisions about scaling its implementation across your organization. We also help with custom integration roadmap as well as architecture design solution, right? To design a custom architecture solution with Purview or to map out how Purview fits into an existing cloud or a hybrid architecture. So proof of concept or solution architecture and design are some of the other offerings. And then of course for those who are ready to fully embrace Purview, we provide migration and deployment services. We help you migrate your data to Purview, set up data classification policies, and ensure compliance workflows are deployed effectively. We also offer custom training sessions to ensure your team is equipped to use Purview to its fullest potential, right? And you have long-term success in managing your program. With that, we've covered a lot today, and now I'd like to open the floor to any questions you may have, whether it's about how Purview can fit into your existing framework or how to implement specific features or how Royal Cyber can assist you. Feel free to ask. We are here to provide the information you need to make informed decisions about your data governance journey, right? So I do see that there are a few questions that have come in, so I'm just going to take them one by one, right? So the first question is it possible to register multiple tenants within a single Microsoft Purview account? Is it possible to register multiple tenants within a single Microsoft Purview account? Well, no, this is not currently supported. To scan a data source located in another tenant, you must create a separate Microsoft Purview account in that specific tenant, right? So no, this is currently not supported. You will have to create a separate Purview account. I hope that answers your question. Um, the second question is, do scans conducted by Microsoft Purview data map affect the performance of operational databases? Well, we recommend to its best to schedule scans um, outside of normal business hours, uh, because what happens is the impact on our database sort of depends on a lot of factors like the number of assets being scanned and the complexity of the table schema, the number of columns, right. Um, so there are a lot of moving parts here, and but it's also a good point to note that Microsoft Purview data map only samples a portion of the data to determine classification as opposed to the whole data set, right. So yeah, to answer your question, best to schedule scans outside of normal business hours to not be affected by any performance related dips, although it's not that persistent, right. So well, what distinguishes a glossary from a classification in Microsoft Purview? What distinguishes a glossary from a classification in Microsoft Purview? Well, glossary is terms used by non-technical or business users. Like as an example, a marketing analyst might search terms like customer demographics or like customer lifetime value or campaign performance to locate relevant data, whereas classification is more related to identifying sensitive information and the nature of the nature of that information, right. Like for example, tagging a data asset, right, such as a table, column or file to specify the type of data it holds, right. So one is more of a non-technical business user related, like a keyword that can be searched, right, and you can get the context around it, and classification is more on the sensitivity side and talks to the data assets like table, columns or file, right. So I hope this answers your question. So yeah, so I think in the interest of time, if you have any more questions, just feel free to email us and let us know how did you like the webinar. We will be scheduling a few more, but this was a high level overview, and I hope you enjoyed this particular session. Thank you so much for joining us today. We really hope this session provided you with some valuable insights into how Purview can help manage, secure and govern your data more effectively, right. If you yeah, we look forward to partnering with you on your data governance journey. So have a great day ahead. Thank you.